Okay, so let's talk about something I think a lot of parents, maybe educators too, grapple with.
Mm-hmm.
Helping kids express themselves, right? Or get their thoughts organized, maybe even find some joy in writing. It's not always easy.
No, it definitely isn't. These skills need, well, nurturing. And sometimes the right tools can make a surprising difference.
Exactly. Which brings us to today's deep dive, the journal notebook. Specifically, one's designed for kids.
Right, and we're looking at some sources today that really focus on this, including work from Lestallion. We've seen their approach before, haven't we?
We have. They put a lot of thought into their writing tools, so we know they're coming from a place of quality.
Yeah, and their kids' journals seem to pack in features that are more than just, lines on a page.
Okay, so that's our mission then. Let's unpack how a quality journal, like one from Lestallion, can actually be this valuable tool for a child's development.
Sounds good. Where should we start? Maybe with the basic idea of just having a dedicated space.
Yeah, let's do that. Because think about it, a kid's life is often pretty scheduled, right? Run by adults.
Totally.
So having their own notebook, it's like, this is mine, my
It
space.
signals ownership, privacy, that their thoughts, their doodles, their feelings, they matter, and they have a home.
And Lestallion seems to get that. The sources mention the paper quality, that thick 120 GSM stuff.
Yeah, that's important.
It really is. Because kids aren't always delicate with pens or markers, no ink smudging or bleeding through. That avoids a lot of frustration.
Totally. I remember my nephew, Leo, getting so upset when his drawings would ruin the back of the page.
Exactly. That kind of thing can actually discourage them. Good paper avoids that. It makes the experience better.
It validates their effort, in a way. And then there are the other features, like numbered pages
Yeah.
and a table of contents.
Right. Which might sound a bit formal, but for a kid.
It introduces organization subtly. They can track their entries, maybe list their stories or ideas.
Yeah. Like, Chapter 1, my trip to the park. Chapter 2, secret alien drawings. It makes it feel more official, more structured.
And they can look back and see their own progress. That's huge for building confidence.
It really is. It's like building their own little archive. And what about the cover? The source mentions a soft, faux leather one,
Mm-hmm. Gives it that premium feel.
which again might seem minor, but imagine how special that makes a child feel. Like they're holding something important, not just a cheap school notebook.
Totally. My friend Sarah's daughter, Maya, she apparently started taking much better care of her journal when she got one with a nicer cover. It became a treasured thing.
See, it instills that pride of ownership, and then inside, those 7.5 millimeter wide lines.
Oh, yes. The line spacing.
It's not random. It's designed to help kids who are still developing their handwriting, right?
Exactly. Gives them enough space to form letters clearly, practice neatness without feeling cramped. It supports that fine motor skill development.
So all these features, the paper, the numbering, the cover, the lines, they directly address the challenges kids face.
They show an understanding of the user, the child user. It's thoughtful design.
Okay, so we've got the physical aspects, but what about the emotional side? Childhood isn't always easy.
Not at all. And that's where the journal as a safe space comes in. The sources really emphasize this.
A private place to just let it out, write down feelings, worries about school, stuff happening at home.
Without judgment. That's the key. Writing it down can be incredibly cathartic. It helps them externalize emotions.
Makes them less overwhelming, maybe?
Yeah, it can be the first step to understanding and managing them. Provides that psychological safety.
It reminds me of my neighbor's son, Ben. He was super anxious about starting a new soccer team.
Okay.
Wouldn't talk about it much. His mom gave him a notebook, just suggested he draw or write, whatever.
And did he?
Yeah. Slowly, he started filling it up. Worries, but also like little plans for how he'd handle things. The journal became his private sounding board.
That's a perfect illustration. And you could even guide it a bit, right? With prompts.
Like gratitude prompts. Yeah, the source mentions that.
Encouraging them to jot down something good about their day. It can shift their mindset, build self-awareness.
And with numbered pages, they could look back over a week or a month and see all this positive stuff they recorded.
Reinforces that positivity. It's a simple but powerful technique.
Okay, so emotional processing, check. What about creativity? Kids are naturally imaginative.
Oh, absolutely. Bursting with stories, drawings, poems.
And a journal is like the perfect blank canvas for all that. No rules, just space.
Exactly. Let them fill it with fantastical adventures, silly rhymes, elaborate drawings, whatever sparks their interest.
Some notebooks even have like dashed lines.
Yeah, for mixed media. So they can draw and write easily on the same page. It encourages blending those creative forms.
I love that, like drawing a superhero and then writing their origin story right next to it.
And what's cool is that creative play actually builds other skills too.
Like cognitive skill.
Yeah. Problem solving, visual thinking, figuring out how to tell a story.
Yeah.
It's all happening when they create.
So it's not just fun, it's brain work too.
Definitely. And regular journaling, even just writing about their day, helps them structure thoughts.
How so?
Well, they have to think about what happened, analyze it a bit, reflect on it. That's critical thinking in action.
Like if they write about a science project, they're processing what they learned, maybe what went wrong.
Right. And breaking down problems or experiences in writing can improve their problem-solving abilities overall.
And organization too. Just the act of deciding what to write, maybe using that table of contents.
It all contributes. Learning to structure their thoughts on paper translates to better organizational skills in general. The wide lines help provide a clear structure for the writing itself, too.
It really transforms it from just a notebook into like an active development tool.
Which brings us to that story about Emma from the source material.
Ah, yeah, the 8-year-old. She was anxious about writing initially.
Very. Started mostly with doodles, simple sentences, but she kept at it in her journal.
One of the Lestallion ones, right?
Yeah. Yes. And she apparently used those numbered pages to see her progress, to see how much she was writing and drawing.
And that built her confidence.
Massively. She started writing longer stories, developing her ideas.
And didn't she end up winning something?
She did, a school writing contest. It's such a great example of how the right tool and consistent practice can overcome anxiety and unlock potential.
That's fantastic. It really shows the journey. From hesitant doodler to confident writer.
And it highlights how those specific features, the numbered pages, the quality feel, they weren't just incidental. They actively supported her journey.
So Lestallion's journals, with their focus on quality paper, organization aids, the nice covers, they really serve as excellent tools for this.
Exactly. They facilitate that process of self-expression, creativity, and skill building.
Yeah.
And having different cover options, like the Ashbury Black, Cocoa Brown, Royal Blue.
It lets kids pick one that feels like theirs, personalizes it.
Makes it more inviting.
So wrapping things up, it seems pretty clear. A good quality journal notebook isn't just a nice to have.
No, it's a genuinely valuable space for kids to explore thoughts, feelings, ideas.
Unleash creativity, process emotions.
And develop really crucial life skills along the way. Organization, critical thinking, self-reflection.
And those features we talked about, good paper, numbered pages, table of contents, comfortable lines, appealing design, like in the Lestallion journals, they really do make the experience better.
They make it more effective, more engaging, and ultimately more beneficial for the child's growth.
It's amazing, really, how something so simple, a dedicated notebook, can have such a potentially profound impact.
It really is.
Makes you think, doesn't it? About maybe your own first experiences with writing or a special notebook you had. What was it about those blank pages that helped shape things for you? Something to ponder.